male and female names were used to identify northern Pacific storms. This was then adopted in 1979 for storms in the Atlantic Basin. The National Hurricane Center does not control the naming of tropical storms. Instead, there is a strict procedure established.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Prime Minister Davis attending the Clinton Global Initiative 2023 in New York. We have the details. And police authorities continue investigations into the DRA's audit findings. Those stories, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, traveled to New York on Sunday to attend the Clinton Global Initiative 2023. Prime Minister Davis addressed the global conference earlier today, where he explained how climate change has negatively impacted the Bahamas and recounted the fact that this island nation had to endure 4 major storms in recent years.
Every nation faces significant climate risks, and leaders are looking to scientists and insurance companies to understand their short, medium, and long-term risks. In the Bahamas, we are praying we make it to the medium and long term. But we are not just praying. We are working with other small island nations to fight for emissions reductions. We are strengthening our ability to respond to hurricanes. And we have launched a National Youth Guard so that young Bahamians can work alongside our disaster response teams and our national security forces. A cruel irony is that for those 4 massive hurricanes, it cost us billions, leaving us with little fiscal space we need to get ready for the next storms.
Prime Minister Davis also explained to the global leaders his plans to protect this island nation from climate change.
We are going to survive an era of supercharged storms by creating supercharged win-win investment partnerships. With our strategic advisors, Resilience Capital Ventures, we will work with regional and global capital market leaders to underwrite and place an innovative financing facility with a target of initially $500 million US. Our priorities include climate-resilient infrastructure, our clean energy transition, coastal zone conservation, reducing biodiversity loss, regenerative agriculture, carbon sequestration, and participation in the natural back carbon credit programs.
Now, while in New York, the Prime Minister will engage in key meetings at the United Nations General Assembly. Besides tackling climate change, these global leaders will focus on healthcare and gender-based violence. Last year's conference saw over 140 global commitments, including significant pledges towards water and sanitation. Attendees this year will include global leaders such as World Bank President Ajay Banga, Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky, World Central Kitchen founder Jose Andres, and Ford Foundation CEO Darren Walker, among other prominent figures. Prime Minister Davis' attendance underscores the Bahamas' proactive role in addressing global challenges. The nation's leader is expected to return home on Wednesday. Well, Prime Minister Davis also explained to global leaders his plans to protect this island nation from climate change. Well, in other news, we hear from residents in Grand Bahama who are speaking candidly about the government's performance over the last years. Those residents also sharing their expectations for the government during the remainder of their term.
Progressive Liberal Party officially marking 2 years since its victory at the polls back in September of 2021. That same year, the party released its Blueprint for Change, which encompasses a 10-point plan meant to rescue the economy and advance the lives of Bahamians and, by extension, the country. Well, today we took to the streets to get residents' opinions on the party's performance since it took office.
It's the brave and good. They do pretty well, and they give them more time, give them another year. Things to straighten out for Freeport.
There are some things for which you can commend them, but there are other things where they are sorely lacking.
Their reshuffling of the House, I think it's a step in the right direction, but at the end of the day, they need to seek the will of God.
This past Sunday, the nation's chief touted the administration's success thus far after it successfully reopened the economy, ending with some deemed draconian COVID preventative measures. The economy subsequently seeing a rebound. Despite this, PM Davis assured that there is more work to be done. And with 3 years left into their term, residents opined that there are key issues of national importance the administration has yet to tackle.
The areas that need to be addressed, I think, in Freeport is certainly unemployment among our young people. The second area that I think need to be addressed is we have for too long in Grand Bahama been patching and fixing the Rand Memorial Hospital.
I think they have to bring more investment here. So we have to put things in place that will empower the Bahamians so we become owners of our country.
Get serious in this farming and help the young people to get jobs so they could build their own country. Farming is the main industry. We need it fishing.
More jobs, more business, more tourists coming in.
And there were some who remained neutral about the matter, only opting to say that ultimately their trust is not in any political party.
I don't feel no type of way about it. I mean, ain't nothing really changed. It's Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama really don't need no political party because at the end of the day, if the Grand Bahama Port Authority say anything, that's what goes.
I'm a kingdom citizen. At the end of the day, it is what it is. God's in control. I can't change anything.
We just have to pray for the best for the Bahamas.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Also in news tonight, a former GBPA executive is responding to a floating proposal from an investor to the Port Authority to take over Freeport's management as it relates to administration, development, and infrastructure upkeep. Simone Davis has that story.
Last week, members of the concerned Freeport Licensees Association convened for a crucial meeting, and discussions led to a proposal aimed to transform the governance structure of the Grand Bahama Port Authority by relinquishing the GBPA's regulatory and administrative powers and transferring them into a trust framework under the oversight of a 5-person board of trustees. Now, back in 2012, a former GBPA executive, Dylan Knowles, presented a similar proposal to the GBPA for a city manager to administer Freeport and take over responsibility for its administration, development, and infrastructure upkeep.
I don't know if they're piggybacking on that proposal that I made back in 2012 or not. I'm not sure. I haven't actually had a discussion with anybody specifically on it.
Knowles pointed out that this new proposal bore some resemblance to Clause 4B of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, which provides an exit route for the Port Authority's owners, developers, by allowing them to delegate their quasi-governmental or regulatory powers to a local government once 80% of licensees agree. Now, when asked whether he believes presenting such a plan to the GBPA would result in any improvement, this was his response.
I don't think that a presentation to GBPA per se will garner much of anything. I think it has to be taking advantage of this current, I want to call it a dialogue, even though it's not, it seems to be somewhat acrimonious. But this dialogue between the government and the Port Authority for the licensees to come together and insert themselves into that discussion. Because this is a discussion that needs to be had between the three parties.
However, Knowles added that given the current state of the GBPA as it relates to its relationship with the government, it is important that licensees are educated about their strengths and restrictions under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement.
That meeting was focused on trying to ensure that the licensees understand the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, their benefits under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, and their authority under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, as licensees generally have been disengaged from the process over all of these many decades, and we're significantly at risk in any discussions, especially any discussions that are about to happen, which we assume will happen between the government and the Port Authority, given the government's recent pronouncements, public pronouncements about its relationship with the Port Authority.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, in the wake of a forensic audit requested by DRA Chairman Alex Storr last year, citing stark evidence of mismanagement under the former administration, the police investigation into the audit findings has taken a significant turn. Authorities have recently journeyed to Grand Bahama to question several individuals believed to be connected to the ongoing probe. Our ZNS News team reached out to the executive chairman for an update into that matter.
We handed over the forensic audit to the police, who in turn on their studying of the audit are now conducting an investigation.
During a weekly press briefing held at the office of the Prime Minister last year, DRA Chairman Alex Storr unveiled a series of shocking findings that propelled the need for a forensic audit. These revelations encompassed exorbitant salaries for former executives, alleged conflicts of interest, and concerning discrepancies in the handling of storm contracts. Chairman Storr provided specific instances, including a case on Abaco where the DRA was billed for equipment that was either absent from the site or non-operational.
Right, all those things are included in the audit. So what we did after that, we turned the audit over to the police and let them make the decision and investigate how they feel best. We have no independence, no say in what the police are doing. And as a matter of fact, I was quite happy to turn the audit over to them and have them conduct an investigation. That frees us up to conduct our home repairs and other things that we need to be doing that people are crying out for.
During his address in Parliament concerning the 2021-2022 mid-year budget debate, newly appointed Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister for Abaco, the Honourable Miles LaRota, gave an update on the ongoing forensic audit, examining the management of recovery efforts post-Hurricane Dorian. Quoting from a former director, he highlighted a significant concern, revealing a gap in which the former administration disbursed $14 million without the appropriate due diligence. Investigations into these audit findings continue, extending well beyond a year from their initiation, with local authorities recently converging on Grand Bahama as a part of the ongoing inquiry.
We are not entering in the police investigation in any way or form. They determined on their own and from their perusal of the audit who they wanted to speak to and what questions they wanted to ask. We are not involved in that process at all. I would let that be a warning call to all out there that may have items that belong to the DRA or the Bahamian people for the good of the Bahamian people to turn them back in, because, as you said, police are on the ground and it's only a matter of time.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street. Phone them at 688-9661.
Psst. Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Cobb determines former Salmus, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
This is a public safety announcement from the Grand Bahama Power Company. Customers are reminded to ensure that a transfer switch is installed when a backup energy source, such as a generator, is being used. When a storm strikes and knocks out power to your home, you may be forced to use a backup energy source, such as solar panels or a generator. Do you know about the potential danger or how to safely use backup energy sources? There's one major risk that you should be aware of. It's called backfeed, and it can endanger you, a family member, or someone else, especially a lineman or electrician working near your property. What is backfeed? Backfeed occurs when power travels from your solar setup or generator back through the utility line, resulting in them being unknowingly re-energized. Backfeed creates a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation for line workers and the general public. If your solar system or generator isn't properly installed, the backfeed of electric current could severely injure or kill a lineman working to restore power. The best way to avoid backfeed is by installing a transfer switch. Transfer switch ensures your household isn't connected to the power grid and the backup energy source at the same time. To prevent backfeed, generators, whether permanent or portable, should never be plugged into a home's wiring or directly to the circuit breaker panel. Be sure to have a qualified, licensed electrician install your backup energy source and a transfer switch, thereby eliminating backfeed. Preventing backfeed could save a life.
Every Sunday from noon until 4 p.m., join us at Portobello's Restaurant at the Grand Lucayan for a delicious full buffet spread. Call 373-1333 for more information.
Yo, this car sound this quick.
Right, man, I've been a problem with this for weeks.
You get on there, this got a service. I just need my flirt family.
Where I gotta go?
So you see me in Car Straight, right? Head on Legnum Valley Road, next to Butler Street Loam. Right there. The mufflers, we stay here, all that.
I come to jack you right now, bro.
All right.
Services, muffler repairs, manifold repairs, exhaust repairs, electric welding, and more. Monday to Friday, open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Bahamas District Pilot Club donating some much-needed caution vests to the Royal Bahamas Police Force Road Traffic Division. The Pilot Club of Lucaya, Sunset, and Freeport gathering at the Gerald Bartlett Building, where Pilot Club District Coordinator Franklin McCoy led the donation.
Mostly when you're on the roadblock, you always see them, but they never have a caution jacket on. And it's not visible in the nighttime, or when there are dark clothes on. As you ride through the community, you might end up hitting one of them or something. So we came here today to just get them caution jackets so they'll be more safe on the road, while I say make sure we got our community.
It's vitally important for Pilot International, especially the Bahamas District, to be involved into community projects, because it not only helps our various communities, but it also shows globally that we're doing more than just serving. We're also making sure that the impact is felt from the government level all the way through the common man. And so we do everything that we can to make sure that our initiatives are at the forefront of everything that we do.
Assistant Superintendent of Police and Officer in charge of the Traffic Division, Christopher Farquharson, thanking the district for the items and admits the contribution was timely as many officers are dispatched on the streets.
Yes, I need it, especially for officers when doing operations, road checks, doing their daily duties. So on behalf of the team here, we'd like to thank the Pilot Club and Mr. McCoy.
Well, the International Coastal Cleanup was a huge success this past Saturday, with a number of organizations and schools pitching in. Senior Executive of Sustainable Tourism, Olena Robinson, was quite pleased with the reports she received from the various zone organizers.
about it is I've been getting reports that there's less garbage than last year. So I'm really happy about that because I've got a few calls that said, oh, we didn't pick up that much. But I was happy because that means that, you know, as the Bahamas, Grand Bahama as a whole is doing their job and picking up after themselves. Yeah, it's really important that we in Grand Bahama and the locals take care of our beaches. And it's not just for the tourists. It's always good that they come and they see a nice, pristine, clean beach. But I mean, it's for us so that we can enjoy. So when we take pride in our own country and we clean up after ourselves, it makes the difference.
Well, looking forward with great optimism for cleaner beaches, the Pilot Club's past governor, Karen Ferguson Bain, was happy to see everyone continuing to chip in with great enthusiasm.
This year, the Williamstown Beach is much more cleaner than it's been in previous years. For our team, which was Lucaya, the anchors and pilots, we collected a total of 100 pounds of debris, and we were just one of the organizations here. We also had many primary schools, Freeport Primary, Walter Parker Primary, as well as Mary Star. And so if everyone do their little part to make sure that our environment stays clean, our visitors will come to a pristine environment, and then they'll tell other people about it.
It's now time for Health is Wealth.
$3.5 to 5 million deaths are prevented every year from infectious diseases due to immunizations. This process is an important aspect of primary care and is when persons are made resistant to a disease through vaccinations. In the Bahamas, we provide immunization in early infancy to childhood to keep the population free from diseases. Common side effects from receiving immunizations are fever and soreness at the site of injection. If after receiving immunizations your child has any of the following symptoms, please treat appropriately with fever-reducing medications and pain medications. If your child has an allergic reaction to recent immunizations, present to the clinic or hospital to prevent worsening of the child's symptoms. Immunosuppressed children with low immune systems or children with recent moderate illness may not be able to receive all types of vaccines. Should you have any concerns about whether your child can receive an immunization, please feel free to contact your local community physician or NHI provider for more information and care. I'm Dr. Kia Kingstrawn, here to remind you that your health is your wealth.
Well, I'm wearing my winning gold tie, and that is in part of the Dolphins' win last night, but I'm sure you'll hear all about it in Jay Philippe's Sports Package.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports on this beautiful Monday. It was yet another busy weekend in sports, NFL Week 2, Josh Chisholm with 2 Grand Slams, but let's begin with Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones and her New York Liberty took Game 1 of their WNBA playoff matchup against the Washington Mystics, 90-75. The Grand Bahamian native put on a show, scoring 20 points and grabbed 12 rebounds in the win. Game 2 is on Tuesday. Now in local sports, the GBSSAA Ivan Butler Volleyball Tip-Off Classic played all weekend with the championship set for tomorrow. This year's tournament is in honor of former coach and District Superintendent of Education for Grand Bahama, Abaco, and the Keys, Coach Butler.
I'm humbled by the gesture from the association, so it's something we decided over the summer, and we'll make it an annual event. The success of volleyball over the last year has been tremendous. We've seen tremendous growth. We're very pleased that the Volleyball Association is on board with us, and so we're just pleased to be able to pull off this tournament at this time of the year.
And finally in sports, some notable scores from Week 2 of the NFL season. The Buffalo Bills defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 38-10. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens was able to get the win against the Cincinnati Bengals in a close one, 27-24. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers improved to 2-0 with a win against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Over on the West Coast, the 49ers handled business against the LA Rams 30-23 to remain undefeated. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys has been impressive so far to start the season, winning this one 30-10, dominating against the New York Jets. Also, the New York Giants came from behind 31-28 to get their first win of the season against the Arizona Cardinals. And of course,
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team
the Miami Dolphins got the W 24-17 on the road against Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots remain undefeated at 2-0 to start the season. Ladies and gents, that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
New this month at Island Bedding and Furniture. 5- and 7-piece dining room sets. Gorgeous natural wood dining tables and bench sets in mango, acacia, or shisham wood. And your pick of additional chairs. All new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. For the bedroom, we're all about platforms, unbelievable prices, and no box spring required. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe.
Introducing our sizzling deal of the season. Sink your teeth into delicious piping hot Pizza Hut pizzas layered with your favorite toppings. Order 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $27.70. Call Pizza Hut Freeport at 352-9191 to order now. Available for carryout and delivery. 352-9191. Your taste buds and pocket will thank you. Only available at Pizza Hut Freeport.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open. Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Somebody call the Brinks truck.
Christmas in Freeport presents the Black Bottle Christmas Concert featuring the boss, Rick Ross, live in concert.
The biggest concert of the year. And you know the biggest boss gonna run out there, boy.
On Saturday, December 23rd at Goombay Park, Freeport, Bahamas, with DJs like Tico T, Overdose, 1K Gaza, DJ Cannon, Just Ride, King Diano, Little Giant, DJ Slangs, DJ Future, Matt Bull, and more. It's Christmas in Freeport. The Black Bottle Christmas, BBC, Part 5, with Rick Ross, the boss, performing live. Saturday, December 23rd, 2023, at Goombay Park, Freeport, Bahamas. Doors open at 9 p.m. until. Security is strictly enforced. For more info, call 602-7751 or 727-3226. The Black Bottle Christmas Concert.
The biggest boss in the biz, Ricky Rose, I'm performing live.
For sponsorship and Skybox info, call 602-7751.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend tonight is Javard Monque. We also extend birthday greetings to Mr. Joel Roberts and James DeVoe Esquire. Please enjoy your birthdays and thanks for your support of the ZNS Network News. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
In 1953, the United States began using a female name for storms. And by 1978, both male and female names were used to identify northern Pacific storms. This was then adopted in 1979 for storms in the Atlantic Basin. The National Hurricane Center does not control the naming of tropical storms. Instead, there is a strict procedure established by the World's Meteorological Organization for Atlantic hurricanes. There is a list of male and female names which are used on a 6-year rotation. The only time that there is a change is if the storm is so deadly or costly that the future use of its name on a different storm would be inappropriate. These are the names of storms for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Dawn, Emily, Franklin, Gert, Harold, Idalia, Jose, Katia, Lee, Margot, Nigel, Ophelia, Philippe, Rena, Sean, Tammy, Vince, Whitney. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, respiratory illness hits Andros students. Third quarter deficit shrinkage, mortgage corporations delinquency concern, and in sports, UB athletes run the distance. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Makush Lapinder. Thanks for tuning in. What's behind an outbreak of an upper respiratory illness among students at Huntley Christie High in Nicholstown, Andros? Well, that's the basis of an investigation health officials have launched into that very incident. Lloyd Allen joins us live in studio. Lloyd, what can you tell us?
Well, Makushla, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, confirmed the outbreak after parents informed ZNS News that several students were sent home from school early today and others in recent days. Now, this comes after 6 students last week experienced similar symptoms, according to the Minister of Health.
After speaking with the physician in Nicholstown, along with our senior persons here at the ministry, last week we did see about 6 students who appeared to have symptoms and signs of upper respiratory tract infections, and also symptoms and signs that is similar to dengue fever. The blood samples were taken off and is now forwarded to New Providence. But today we also saw about 2 or 3 individuals at the clinic with similar symptoms. And so we know that there is an upper respiratory tract infection and strep throat that's going around in the country. But the signs are very similar to dengue, so samples were taken off to rule out dengue.
Now, keep in mind, this comes less than a week after health officials reported that a 9-year-old boy had died from dengue fever. The first cases of dengue outbreak on New Providence appeared on Grand Bahama, with officials reporting that the Family Island cases had originated here in the capital. Now, as for Andros, despite those incidents of illness at Huntley Christie, to date, Darville says no cases of the viral illness have been confirmed.
There's no definitive diagnoses as yet, but students and residents who have been treated in Middletown is under observation by clinicians and being monitored for the possibility of dengue. We had a case in the Berry Islands and one, I think, in Exuma. And we're monitoring all the big islands very closely, and all of our clinics are on red alert to address anyone who presents with signs and symptoms of dengue. So no confirmed case on Andros this year.
Now, this is a story we will continue to follow. Live in studio for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Meantime, 8 cases added to the local dengue count, giving us a total of now 108 up to news time. The vector, the Aedes aegypti mosquito that breeds in containers. Environmental experts are preaching a very simple message. If there is no such mosquito, there's no transmission. This while fogging continues. Well, in other news this evening, climate change, healthcare, and gender-based violence, all key issues world leaders are tackling. And in on those high-level talks at the Clinton Global Initiative in New York City, the Prime Minister, who during his address not only spoke of initiatives to assist in staving off the negative impact of climate change, but announced a key initiative on his government's end. Carla Palmer has that story.
We urgently need new and creative solutions to our climate financing.
For Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis, it's a fact he feels essential to repeating at every opportunity as the forces of nature accelerated by climate change continues to beat the Bahamas structurally and burden the country financially from devastating hurricanes like the last 4 making landfall here.
A cruel irony is that for those 4 massive hurricanes, it cost us billions, leaving us with little fiscal space we need to get ready for the next storms. Topping the list of countries most vulnerable to climate change, it makes borrowing more expensive for me. Every single day, we are paying for the hurricanes we have already suffered and the ones still ahead of us. In addition, our nation's middle income designation leaves us unable to access fair and concessional financing for recovery and adaptation. This traps us in a cycle in which the servicing of our debt leaves very little to invest in building our resilience.
He tells the Clinton Global Foundation how his government is doing all it could to mitigate the impact.
We are working with other small island nations to fight for emissions reductions. We are strengthening our ability to respond to hurricanes. And we have launched a National Youth Guard so that young Bahamians can work alongside our disaster response teams and our national security forces. We are going to survive an era of supercharged storms by creating supercharged win-win investment partnerships. With our strategic advisors, Resilience Capital Ventures, we will work with regional and global capital market leaders to underwrite and place an innovative financing facility with a target of initially $500 million.
Even though confronted with the challenges of climate change, Prime Minister Davis noted how the Bahamas is still forging ahead with a view to turning adversity into triumph. As he says, the Bahamas is working on a scientifically groundbreaking program.
Our country's seagrass meadows, which cover over 92,000 square kilometers, appear to be absorbing more carbon than the Amazon rainforest. We have been mapping our seagrasses with the help of not just scientists, but tiger sharks, who are a critical part of our underwater surveying team, wearing cameras and sending back data points. It's always good to have apex predators on your side. Those sharks are going to help us become the first country in the world to issue blue carbon credits. So as you can see, small countries can be big pioneers.
Prime Minister Davis touted this initiative as the country's call to action at the former U.S. President Clinton's Global Foundation in New York City. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
The first 9 months of the 2022-2023 fiscal year ending favorably. The central
Well, the central bank economic report, speaks to mortgages, which based on data from banks, insurance companies, and the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, the total value of outstanding mortgages reduced by $8.3 million. Fast forward to this past weekend, and Mortgage Corporation Executive Chairman Barbara Cartwright expressed concern about the delinquency rate among mortgage holders. Now, that concern leading to a financial seminar to reduce the number of non-performing loans on the BMC's books.
The importance of having a mortgage seminar like this is to encourage our clients to pay their mortgage on time. The Bahamas Mortgage Corporation is suffering from a delinquency problem, and we feel that it is because of the lack of education. We intend to have many, many more seminars such as this. We're going to be including customers that are delinquent to ensure that they understand that they can come in and talk to our representatives instead of ducking and dodging.
Cartwright says the BMC also wants to deepen its partnership with clients.
As you know, the government's mandate is to provide home ownership, and so we expect that many more homes will become available to Bahamians. And so as they become available, we will make sure that the persons are educated on home ownership and also the importance of paying their mortgages on time. I know it's a lifestyle change for many, and I hope that people will grasp this opportunity to help themselves.
Well, a busy itinerary for tourism officials on their recent Atlanta mission, meeting with various stakeholders. Cleopatra Murphy shares how one major government initiative stands to benefit from the team's discussions.
The multi-million-dollar Family Island Airport redevelopment program could benefit from the renewal of an MOU between the Bahamas and the City of Atlanta Department of Aviation. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, and tourism officials recently met with company executives.
With our project of building 14 new airports or revitalizing 14 airports in the Bahamas, the relationship that we will build with the executives and management team of Atlanta's airport really will help us to advance these projects more quickly. They will assist with training and development of our employees and managers, deploying best practice as it relates to safety and security.
Airport General Manager Balram Biadari says he is eager to renew the long-standing agreement that expired during the COVID-19 pandemic. With 105 million passengers set to move through the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport this year, Biadari says through the sister airport agreement, they hope to assist with increasing airport revenue.
Non-aeronautical revenue generation in terms of commercial activities, parking activities. We're grossing over $1 billion a year in Atlanta Airport, and we want to share some of those practices with the government and airport officials.
Tourism officials also met with the Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau, picking their brains on how to better reach the Atlanta market, also visiting the Film Commission as the Bahamas seeks to learn from Atlanta's success in that industry. Director General of Tourism Latia Duncombe also led the tourism team in a meeting with officials from the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce that centered around tourism, the tech sector, and esports, with Vice President of Global Commerce John Woodward describing those talks as robust with ideas flowing.
A fundamental one is where the foundations are already in place, where those connections and those synergies are already in place. That's the easiest path to start off with. And so I think our discussion yielded a lot of common areas in that regard, a lot of opportunities. And so that would be a natural follow-up.
While tourism is the Bahamas' #1 industry, Duncombe says they are committed to growing the sector, but are also willing to adapt as market dynamics shift.
Digital innovation right now is up front and center. There are huge opportunities in the creative space, and we have a mandate and an opportunity to make sure that all of the opportunities that are available globally are made available to our Bahamians. And we have boots on the ground doing everything within our power to keep the tourism industry strong.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Still to come, more on a woman's political influence. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Focall Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
Just when Leo was about to buy this useless pair of Hands underwear, he remembered that it was Tuesday. Hungry for deals? You better come satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. Crazy Tuesdays! 5 juicy, mouth-watering pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Crazy Tuesdays! A finger-licking good deal.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Before the big game, save big and shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Soy's mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.99. So cheesy macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, 89 cents. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, $1.09. Whole watermelons, $6.99 each. Jamestown bacon, 16 ounce, $4.99. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport.
Tonight, as an Abaco teen recovers from injuries suffered during a terrifying attack by a group of pit bulls on the loose, there are renewed calls from both animal advocates and law enforcement for dog owners to ensure they are following the proper guidelines. Corval Pyfrom reports that this latest incident is also reigniting a years-old debate.
Friday's incident brings back harrowing memories. Police say the 15-year-old 10th grader was tackled to the ground while walking to her home in Abaco. Bit into her face and arm, injured seriously by 3 pit bulls on the loose. Police forced to kill one of the dogs. The other 2 got away. Bahamas Humane Society President Kim Arner describes it as disturbing on many levels.
I'm told that these dogs that mauled this little girl or this young woman had been a problem before, but this was not the first time they got out, that they had been a problem before.
What happened to this teen girl in Abaco is not at all unfamiliar. In fact, it happens way too often, and officials say it's because time and time again, pet owners fail to ensure that their premises are properly fenced.
If you cannot afford to ensure that these dogs are kept in adequate shelter, your yard is not properly secured, then you need to take a look and figure out if you should have a pet.
Assistant Police Superintendent Kyle Capron heads the police force's K9 unit.
We rarely find that we have these incidences when the owner of the animals are actually there. It's when persons aren't taking proper precautions to ensure that their animals are secured on their premises. So almost 90% of the dog attacks that we see are because of careless owners allowing their dogs to roam freely.
Animal activists like Arna, though, want stiffer penalties and heftier fines for those breeders who she believes are fueling this matter.
This problem is not going to go away unless we have the fortitude to... We've got the rules. The Animal Protection and Control Act has all the law you need. But now we need leaders to enforce it.
Police also warning the public about provoking these animals and risking danger to themselves. This, too, is an offense.
It's considered animal cruelty. It's cruelty to animals, and you would be fined.
As the teen girl continues to recover from her injuries, police have not indicated whether charges will be brought against the dog's owner or what will happen to the other 2 dogs when and if they are caught. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Well, serious charges levied against 3 men. Officers from the Sexual Offenses Unit of the Criminal Investigation Department arresting and charging 2 men with rape, the 3rd with sexually assaulting a dependent. The first suspect, a 31-year-old man from First Street, Coconut Grove, is accused of raping a 39-year-old woman on September 2nd. Police say he summoned the victim to his home to check on an ill person, but once inside, he struck the woman in the face and sexually assaulted her. Meantime, a 35-year-old man from St. Albans Drive is said to be behind the rape of a 20-year-old woman on September 12th at a business in the Northwestern District here in the capital. And a 39-year-old man from McKinney Drive was charged with sexually assaulting a dependent. Police say the mother of a 15-year-old girl filed a complaint on Sunday, September 10th, alleging that the accused had sexual intercourse with the child at their home. Well, it seems a fraudulent license disc ring has been thwarted by police. 2 men ages 40 and 48 and a 41-year-old woman are being questioned in connection with preparing and distributing fraudulent license disc on behalf of the Road Traffic Department. Now, the investigation began after officers stopped and searched a Nissan Bluebird car in the area of Meadow Street and Hospital Lane last Tuesday and discovered that car's license disc to be fraudulent, leading to the arrest of the female driver. Additional information led to the road traffic controller confirming the fake disc and the arrest of 2 men police believe are involved in a fraudulent license disc network. Authorities warn the public that anyone engaging in this type of activity will be prosecuted. Well, Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez, himself a victim of crime some years back, recently weighing in on discussions on the conditional release of offenders bill, proposed legislation paving the way for the introduction of a parole scheme.
I love the parole. I love the support from our partners abroad. But when that is set up, we have to be able to view that very carefully. And every hands have to be on deck with respect to the law enforcement and the board itself. You have to pay attention to that. Because we will find ourselves in a position where these individuals continue to be tied. And then you put other people's lives in danger.
The U.S. Embassy Chargé d'Affaires Yusha Pitts using a recent meet-and-greet reception at her home to express hope that females will account for 50% of Parliament's makeup in the future. And she's not alone in her thinking. Former Cabinet Minister and parliamentarian Alison Maynard Gibson, among the women across the political divide attending the event, agrees there should be greater equity.
And women do things differently from the way. We're not trying to exclude men. We're recognizing that unless we have women at the table, we're actually losing. They say a bird can't fly on one wing. We're causing that. We can't have efficiency in terms of anything with our development unless women are also at the table as equal partners with men. And I want to say that I'm not just saying to have a woman at the table because she's a woman. We have extraordinarily competent women here in the Bahamas.
And while pushing women to take on more leadership roles, the U.S. Embassy recently did just that.
When you have more women in these conversations, we're not just talking about humanitarian assistance. We're not just talking about making sure that a hurricane shelter will provide for a nursing mother, for a disabled woman. What are the needs that we're missing? What are the gaps we're not talking about in those situations? But we're also inserting our voice in the law enforcement space. A big part of our partnership with the Bahamas is our partnership within law enforcement, countering human trafficking, countering trafficking in drugs, countering all illicit smuggling that's happening through the Bahamas.
But I think two of the main things are education and exposure. So I think the more opportunities that young women have, that women who are coming in and who are entering certain spheres of work, whether it be politics as myself or wanting to go into entertainment or business, if they see more examples, I think that's an opportunity for them to say, okay, this is something that I can do.
When expectation meets reality, a female cabinet minister lets us in on her first 2 years in office. Anthony Smith has the story.
It's been 2 years in office for first-time Member of Parliament and Member of Cabinet, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis.
Great achievement. That's what I think about.
2 years since she first took an oath at the opening of Parliament on October 6, 2021, and 2 years since taking on a post as Minister of Housing and Transport, a role which she admits has not come without its fair share of challenges.
The internal work is something that I didn't have a great appreciation for, and so coming in, and the expectation was I'd been able to do more at a faster pace, but the reality was the workload that it takes to get to the next phase and to be able to give the keys to the family. It took some time, but I'm so happy for what we were able to achieve.
Among that list of achievements, the increase in plates for drivers in the taxi sector, the resumption of the Surrey industry, and the opening of 2 new subdivisions.
I've been fulfilled by seeing the smiles on the faces of the families that receive their keys to their homes. I've felt good about building relationship with taxi drivers, an industry that's built our country, that's been around for so long, and going forward, knowing what is coming up now for the country, just being able to see that I'm a part of the growth.
She transitions now to a restructured role as Minister of Transport and Energy.
To be part of that group that brings the transformation to my country feels really great. I'm hoping that I'm able to be able to get the support needed to achieve as much as I can, not only in New Providence though, because I think our family islands is a good breeding ground for renewable energy, and so I'm hoping that we're able to accomplish a lot.
And as her journey continues, Colby Davis is optimistic that she will bring forth transformation to the energy sector and resolve outstanding issues with stakeholders in the transport industry. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoine Smith.
Well, Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, the University of the Bahamas on the road once again. We'll give you details on how they did at their latest cross-country event ahead in sports.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
Tonight
We're here at Flourish in Atlanta to give the Friends of the Bahamas Awards to 3 very special persons to the Bahamas. Tyrese Gibson, former Mayor Kasim Reed, and also Will Popper. These are 3 individuals who we have made a determination should be honored in such a special way. They've been impactful in their various elements from the film perspective. They have deep-rooted relationships in the Bahamas. In the case of Will, he's an awesome producer, world-renowned, and also has a home in the Bahamas. And so he does enjoy spending some of his time there. Tyrese, of course, is such an inspiration. And when we look at former Mayor Kasim Reed and the relationships developed over the years and the way he grew the film segment in Atlanta during his tenure, it was just really amazing. And then obviously for us, the synergies, the opportunities for now Bahamians to continue to advance in this space. So we're really excited to be here. Atlanta for the Bahamas is very special. This market, we have our Bahamas Tourist Office here. We have a number of visitors that come to the Bahamas. And when we look at the relationships, there's so much and the synergies between Atlanta and the Bahamas, even from a sports perspective. A very strong African-American market, and we see so much opportunities. So this is an area of focus for us. From the creative space and the film and the music space, it's significant here, and certainly things that we are advancing in the Bahamas. And so for us, it's a perfect combination because it advances so much opportunities for our Bahamians.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
The 19th Abaco Business Outlook is coming up Thursday, September 21st at the Abaco Beach Resort as we discuss the theme, Forward, Upward, Onward Together, in celebration of the nation's 50th anniversary of independence. Keynote speaker, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, Minister of National Security, will be joined by a diverse slate of speakers who will address issues impacting tourism, commerce, and stakeholder engagement. Don't miss this valuable networking opportunity. Register now at TC.
Education Minister, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, acknowledges it's a tough assignment, but that nonetheless she's committed to improving education access for public school students. The minister's comments come as the government looks ahead, having marked 2 years in office.
I am absolutely uncompromising in my commitment to do all that I can, taking the best advice there is and using my own native instincts to see how we can cause for, in particular, the public education system, children who come from communities like Angliston, that when they go into the school premises, they're physically acceptable, and that they are subject to instruction that is inspiring, that is building of character, that allows them to build skills, that allows them to go to the next level in their lives.
The Queen's College Comets launching its primary school reading challenge with a very special guest. Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, spent the morning reading to the youngsters as the school seeks to promote reading among its student body. His book of choice, I Am God's Dreams. Cooper, a Comet parent, encouraged students to adopt the habit of reading.
Comets are readers, and readers are leaders. So it's good to be with you and good to read this book for you today. I happen to come from a little place called Forbes Hill in Little Exuma. So I've had many reading opportunities, and it served me well as I grew and went on in my professional life. Now, we didn't have nice buildings like this in Forbes Hill, where I come from. So we did our readings under the Linden Biting tree. All right? Any of you know the Linden Biting? Why is that tree famous? All right, it's a national tree.
Students are being encouraged to read for at least half an hour each day. School Principal Reverend Henry Knowles, who was also celebrating a birthday, urged students to explore the world of books.
Last week when I shared with you, I talked about you being the light. And a part of light in the world, it comes through knowledge and having knowledge. And this is what books and reading do for you. It illuminates your mind and gives you knowledge. It shines a light in darkness of things that you do not know.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
Are you a Bahamian artist? Do you love your Bahamian culture? Are you ready for an opportunity of a lifetime? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group cordially invites you to submit your unreleased Rake and Scrape single now and join the League of Extraordinary Musical Talents. We're seeking authenticity, innovation, and the quintessential Bahamian flair that sets your music apart. To showcase your talent on Island Jams Volume 3. So, simply share your private YouTube, SoundCloud links, or MP3 with us via email at keepthevibelive242@gmail.com. Our ears are tuned to greatness, and we can't wait to discover the next star to grace our Island Jams album series. Join hands with the best of the best as we craft a musical journey that echoes through time. Don't miss your chance to shine among the brightest musical talents, songwriters, producers, artists, and become a part of Island Jams Volume 3.
working season. We got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Enter to win with Hellman's and Knorr. Buy Hellman's and Knorr rice or pesticides and take your receipt to purchase on Robinson Road. You could win one of 6 prizes. Enter today.
Between Saturday and Sunday, September 16th and 17th, immigration officials on the island of Bimini apprehended 36 Ecuadorians, 19 males, 16 females, 1 minor, and a Dominican male. The group was assessed by a local health official and brought here to the capital for further processing. They're being detained at the Carmichael Road Detention Center. Now time for a check on Family Island weather, and as always, we turn to our chief meteorologist, Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Partly cloudy skies this evening. Temperature 88 degrees, a relative humidity at 57%. We have southeast winds at 4 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,012.6 millibars, 29.95 inches, and pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening. They are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 85 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greentown, Key and Abaco, Marshall, Abaco, also at 85 degrees. The Berry Islands, 86. Alistown, Bimini, 86 degrees, and that extends into Harbour Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 85. Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space, St. Andrews at 83 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andrews at 86. 84 degrees in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 85. 85 in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Manchitani, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 86 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Center in the Northwest and Central Islands tonight through tomorrow. Those light and variable winds once again with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. High tide tonight takes place at 10:43 with another high tide at 11:09 tomorrow morning. Now for the southeast Bahamas through Tuesday. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. And as we take you to the middle of the week in the northwestern parts of our country, those winds become northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights building 2 to 4 feet. High tide 11:53 in the morning. You can expect your low tide at 6:20 in the afternoon for the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday. East to southeast winds once again at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Our commercial customers are excited about the new CBS Bahamas website. Now, account managers can add sub-users, set purchasing permissions, and bulk add items to their cart for quick and easy checkout.
Our new website is faster, smarter, and it's even easier to browse our products. You can earn reward points with every purchase. Plus, we now have a 24/7 AI-powered chat assistant. Visit the new cbsbahamas.com today.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check on a Monday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. The University of the Bahamas has been busy with its athletic program, this time leaving the country to compete in cross country. Let's take a look at the details. The University of the Bahamas cross-country team had to fight through a thunderstorm weather delay to have several improved individual performances. This at the Kaiser University Flagship Invitational over the weekend. Levine Joseph turning in the best performance across the teams, finished 50th out of 107 competitors in the men's division with a time of 17 minutes, 24.82 seconds in the 5K event. This was a more than a minute improvement over his previous cross-country at Florida. This was in the Florida Atlantic University performance, 18 minutes 35.9 from 2 weeks ago. Men's team finished 9th out of 10 teams with 253 points. On the women's side, every team member improved their times. Women's team finished 11th with 318 points. Lakeisha Lewis had the best performance for UB as she finished 91st out of 121 competitors with a 23 minutes 31.85 second performance, which represents an almost 2-minute improvement over the cross-country meet 2 weeks ago. Another 2-minute improvement came from Fridley and Augustine, who took 111th spot in 26:22.42.
All of my females would have run a personal best, so that showed that what we've done up to now helped them to improve, so that's a good thing. Lifetime best for 5 of the girls. I'm not sure what their place was, but overall, a better improvement. Our top male, Levine, ran a personal best by 1 minute and I think 15 seconds. So that was really fantastic. He was in the top 50 last time. He was in the top 84th place. Now he's dropped down to the top under 50 place. I think I'm in 48th place overall, and that is good for cross country.
To baseball, where it's official, the Jazz Chisholm Foundation Little League Baseball League will be played at the Blue Hills and Andre Rogers Baseball Diamonds. The league will swing into action in October. Family members, former local coaches, and sponsors all on hand for the announcement. Co-organizer Jerron Sands talking about the purpose of the league.
To qualify for possible scholarships to enter the United States, through the sport of baseball. To mentor at-risk youth in the Bahamas through the sport of baseball. And we will also promote discipline, dedication, and desire.
Now, due to scheduling, Jazz unable to attend the event, but promising to attend as soon as the MLB season ends to lend his support.
It's been 4 years in the making. We are very excited about this right now. It's like a childhood dream coming true to be able to help the kids that don't have it, you know what I mean? Like, we don't really have it like how they have it in the U.S., and we're just trying to make it a little bit more fair for our kids and some kids that really need help down in South Florida.
Albert Cartwright explaining the divisions and the other junior leagues in the country and answering the question, will there be a clash?
There is 5 teams in T-ball, 4 teams in coach pitch, and another 4 teams in 11-12. And another 4 teams in 14U. So it's about 200 to 300 kids total. Competition within the leagues. The Josh Chisholm Little League is a totally different time than the other 2 leagues. So we're just trying to give kids more opportunities to be able to play more baseball, and I think it would benefit the kids more.
Bahamas Olympic Association elections going off without a hitch this past Saturday. Returning President Ramel Fish-Knowles, who returned uncontested, also saying that most of the previous board returned as well. He called it a huge vote of confidence by the membership.
I'm glad that the membership also endorsed the work that the board has been doing. It's not about me or the presidency. It's rather about fulfilling the wishes of our members, making sure that we prepare athletes for the Olympic Games and all the other multi-sport games that we have charge over. So I'm pleased to have the board back that I worked with, who I have a rapport with, along with Adam, a newcomer. And for those persons who were not successful in their bid, we intend to use their expertise, their business acumen through commission. So we're going to be more inclusive, I should say, in our administration.
And there it is, a check on sports for you here on this Monday. Don't go anywhere. We have that look at the weather. That is just ahead.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Chicken coop should go over here. The Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs got new services on my gateway for farmers and fishermen. Now I can get my farm land lease, my farmer's registration and license too. Take that, Ozzy. That's my cousin who always trying to one-up me, but I got him now.
That who? Not Ozzy, eh?
Well, who else?
Boy, Ozzy done get his crawfish trapping permit and he out to sea on Roy's boat.
Visit mygateway.gov.bs today.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you can be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk a catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics a bit quiet this evening, save for this lone system that we are monitoring. We're looking at Nigel, just a Category 1 hurricane packing winds of about 80 miles per hour, and it's some 810 miles to the east-southeast of Bermuda, moving towards the northwest at 12 miles per hour. But some further intensification of this system is expected, and Nigel could become a major hurricane by tomorrow, with packing winds in excess of 111 miles per hour before making a turn towards the northeast, and then some weakening will take place as it continues to trek over the open waters of the Atlantic, moving well to the east of Bermuda. And satellite pictures showing some troughing remaining across the extreme northwest Bahamas. So once again, Grand Bahama and the Abacos will continue to experience pockets of showers and thunderstorms through tomorrow. And then there's another area of weakness now across the extreme southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. So they too will experience pockets of showers and thunderstorms, and in between we'll have 1 or 2 passing showers during the course of the next couple of days. Tonight we're looking at warm conditions with patchy clouds, a thunderstorm in spot developing late tonight with a low temperature just around 81 degrees, and tomorrow a stray thunderstorm in the morning. Otherwise, there are going to be periods of clouds and sunshine in the afternoon. The high temperature tomorrow, not too bad, getting up to 87 degrees. And the extended weather forecast over the next several days seems as though we're going to have some off and on showers in our forecast right through the middle of the week. Thursday, things get a little better, but the cloud cover will be greater. And on Friday, we'll see a return of some showers in our forecast, some of which could be heavy at times. But as Saturday rolls in, the skies will open up, so the weekend is looking great, so you can go ahead and plan your activities for the weekend. Temperature-wise, it seems as though we're going to keep you in the upper 80s during the daytime and upper 70s during the nighttime.
Well, thanks, Basil. Tonight, a millennial's breaking the molds, carving out his own niche, and striking gold in the process. Our Lloyd Allen is live with more.
Well, Makushla, it's always great news to see young people not just surviving, but thriving. Tonight, we have a Gen Z who's been successful in starting not just one, but a number of businesses. He is 23-year-old Leopold Wright. Leopold, some great news there. Tell us, how did you get started?
Hey, Lloyd. So I found a way for me to be able to get better at managing my own job hunting process. And in the middle of that, I learned how to actually be able to do it for other people as well. So I ended up doing resumes, job applications, and all of those stuff.
Well, I know the road to success could not have been easy. Tell us about one of your most challenging moments.
The biggest thing was I was not used to being an entrepreneur yet, and so I had to learn how to balance what I do with how to actually market it and how to handle clients and things. Once I found the balance, it started to work out pretty well, and I'm able to help so much more people now.
And then finally, of course, if there is some good news, rather some advice that you can offer to young people that are watching tonight and interested in starting their own businesses, what would you tell them?
Oh, yeah, easy. So find the number one thing that you're really good at doing. Put some time into learning how to market it and actually learn how to handle it. Put time and priority into it, and I guarantee it will pay off. Guaranteed.
So some great news there, of course, and by all means, just celebrating. Yeah, he's actually a former student of mine as well. Reporting here from downtown Nassau for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Oh, great advice there, Lloyd. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
In 1953, the United States began using a female name for storms. And by 1978, both male and female names were used to identify northern Pacific storms. This was then adopted in 1979 for storms in the Atlantic Basin. The National Hurricane Center does not control the naming of tropical storms. Instead, there is a strict procedure established by the World's Meteorological Organization for Atlantic hurricanes. There is a list of male and female names which are used on a 6-year rotation. The only time that there is a change is if the storm is so deadly or costly that the future use of its name on a different storm would be inappropriate. These are the names of storms for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Dawn, Emily, Franklin, Gert, Harold, Idalia, Jose, Katia, Lee, Margot, Nigel, Ophelia, Philippe, Rena, Sean, Tammy, Vince, Whitney. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.